Hello, everybody. I'm Robin, and these are my reflections. And today we're going to take a first impressions look at Tarot Emblamata, Decoding Magical Symbolism by Natasha Rowland. This was sent over to me for review by Weiser Books. This is the mass market edition of this deck. It did have an indie run, a couple of indie runs, I think, if I remember correctly. I remember it being on Kickstarter, and then I think it sold out, came back. But now we have it mass market from Weiser. You can pick this up wherever you pick up your mass market Weiser decks. You can get it at Weiser's website. You can get them at Amazon. Sometimes I see Weiser decks at, I think, Barnes and Noble. Wherever you pick them up, you can find this one. And I am really excited to have this in the mass market right now because when it was on Kickstarter, I was intrigued. I really was. So now that it's so readily available and all of us can get it pretty easily, I'm excited to see what's in the box. So let's see. It says this deck teaches us to look beyond the surface, to engage with a gaze of awe, admiration, and reverence. Tarot Emblamata is a magical and mystical tarot deck of Renaissance emblems, based on the 1551 Book of Emblems by Claude Pardin. The cards present a visual fusion of the arts of illustration and writing in the dynamic interplay between ancient and iconic images, alongside their allegorical and oracular meanings. Both secular and religious, these emblems crystallize virtue or vice and cover every sphere of early modern knowledge: ethics, natural philosophy, politics, science, religion, love, war, and everyday life. The accompanying guidebook presents tarot interpretations and elucidations on the symbolism of the emblems. Okay. And it says this down here in little tiny writing says this deluxe box set contains 83 gilt edge cards and 192-page full color guidebook. Okay. So let's get this sucker open and see what we have inside. It looks amazing. I love the box size because that means that the guidebook is going to be nice and easy to read. Whenever I see a box this size, I'm excited. It's not as big as a Llewellyn box, but it's bigger than the regular card box, which means that I'm going to be able to see exactly what is in the guidebook. I'm going to be able to read it, and I'm always excited to see that. So there's spot gloss on the back, but none on the front. It's very matte on the front. Very pretty. There's a phoenix. I was looking at the symbols on the back. It looks like a fleur-de-lis and a crown behind the phoenix. Okay, here's the inside. We have a ribbon, card set inside this tray. Okay, the tray is good. This is closed in. There's no holes or anything for the cards to slip down in. Love it when the tray looks like that. It's a nice, very sturdy tray. Good tray. It's not going to break up on you. No thumbhole cutouts, but it doesn't come all the way down, so very easy to open. Fantastic box. And linen cards. I don't know if you can see that, but I can see that. Yeah, there you go. Linen cards. And this is what I saw. Okay, so this is the pattern that I saw behind the phoenix here. It's on the back of the cards. Very pretty. Very, I feel like the backs of these are perfect for this deck. Oh, we have a nice brush gold edge. So it's not, this is metallic, but it's not super shiny. It feels like a brush gold. And here are the fronts. You've got the emblems. I'm just going to slide this off. Okay, so let's take a look at this guidebook. Glossy pages. So we have a forward introduction, consecrating the deck, keywords for the suits, pips, and court cards. Just 2 pages of that. And then we get right into the cards. There's some oracle cards, apparently, some spreads and acknowledgments. But if someone asks me what emblemata really are, I will reply to him that they are mute images and nevertheless speaking, insignificant matters and nonetheless of importance, ridiculous things and nonetheless not without wisdom. Jacob Katz, 1577 to 1660. Protus oft, I'm not even going to try to pronounce the rest of it. So here is the preface. I love that they explain why they've done this, what they've done, why they're doing it. I have a press release here that I'm going to read as we go through the cards so that you can get a feel of some of this. But the introduction. And then, okay, here's the write-ups for the cards. This is what I was looking for. So it looks like you have a full, almost full size image of the card. It's almost the same size as the card. Number, title, and then all of this here is just it's write up about the energy of the card. For these, we've got some stuff about the archetype of the card for the major arcana, and then you have like it mixed in here about the emblem that you see, and then also about this what she's calling mottos. And it does say here in the beginning, there was a note here that said the cards contain the original mottos from Claude Pardin's Latin mottos, but some of them do not have that and were instead excerpted from the subscriptio explanatory text interpreting the motto. And for a few others, she says she used artistic license and changed Pardin's original motto to a famous Latin quote that she found better aligned with the meaning of the tarot card. So that's where those mottos come from that you see on the top of every card. And yeah, all of that is explained for every card. So here's the Emperor, if you want to take a screenshot. And then when you get into the minor arcana, where is it? Starts here. You can see here's the Ace of Wands. It's the same treatment, just a little less writing because we're not getting deep into those archetypes because we're doing minors here. So there's the Ace of Wands. Let's look at a court card. Okay, here's the Queen of Cups. A lot more writing on the Queen because we have an archetype there, right? So that is kind of what that looks like. And then there are some court cards in the back. Oracle cards in the back. So it says here, the following 5 oracle cards are created to for further symbolic interpretation with the tarot. And when they're used in your readings, you should look to how their meaning boosts or enhances the energy of the message overall. They're here to help you with catalyzing self-knowledge, path of embodiment, spiritual gnosis, inspired destiny, and empowerment. And so you've got a few oracle cards, and they have the same style write up where it talks about the same style as the minors. So what the card represents, a little bit about the emblem and the motto, and why that's there, why they chose that. There's a couple of spreads, just three here, 3-card Celtic cross and relationship, and then about the author here, if you want to read that. And that's the guidebook. Nice, solid guidebook, nice pages, very pretty. So we'll read one at the end, but let's go through the cards. So as we flip through these cards, I'm just going to read through some of the front matter, and I'm going to give you some of the press release information. Tarot Emblamata is a magical and mystical tarot deck of Renaissance emblems with their original Latin and vernacular mottos. Descended from Greek, Roman, and Egyptian antiquity, ancient mythology, and medieval bestiaries, Renaissance emblems are intimate illustrations. Their accompanying mottos allegorically and symbolically express sentiments, concepts, societal concerns, and parables. Both secular and religious, these emblems crystallize virtue or vice and cover every possible sphere of early modern knowledge, including ethics, natural philosophy, politics, science, religion, love, war, and everyday life. Based on the 1551 Book of Emblems by Claude Pardin, among the many emblems in this deck portrays are plumes, helmets, swords, gemstone rings, coins, wands, clouds, wreaths, flowers, animals, trees, and the Renaissance court and country. The cards present a visual fusion of the arts, of illustration and writing in a dynamic interplay between ancient and iconic images alongside their allegorical and oracular meanings. The emblems also act as talismans. The accompanying 192-page guidebook presents tarot interpretations and elucidations on the symbolism of the emblems. The charm of these emblems is that they become activated by the user's intention. By tapping into the field of subtle energies surrounding these mystical, metaphysical, and occult illustrations, relevant divinatory results and inspiring new perspectives follow, catalyzing self knowledge and helping the reader expand on their path of embodiment, spiritual gnosis, inspired destiny, and empowerment. Tarot Emblamata is an accessible deck for beginners and those generally familiar with the Rider Waite Smith system, while more experienced readers will enjoy a new and refreshing take on the cards. So, for the Page of Wands, we have youthful friendship and enthusiasm, strong and free for the Knight of Wands. Nature is wonderful in her works for the Queen of Wands. I nourish and extinguish for the King of Wands. I like that. Nourish and extinguish. I shine in the dark. Ace of Cups. Fidelity enricheth. Two of Cups. Three of Cups. And the delight of the gentle air. Missed opportunities. I like that. I run out on every side. So cool. With the barrel that's been like shot again and again and again, all of the wine just running out of it. Youth is to be renewed. Six of Cups. Everything unknown appears magnificent. Seven of Cups. Nothing is more. More is nothing. Eight of Cups. And so she drank her fill. Nine of Cups. These are great. The rainbow brings certainty. Ten of Cups. These would make awesome oracles. Inspired assistance. Visionary by nature. Full of all kinds of cares. The power of intellect and clarity. Ready for both. The heart has its remedy, but love has none. A safe refuge. If they knowingly deceive, both will lose. I like that. These are the things that can be carried by ship. I think that's a really cool motto for the Six of Swords, because oftentimes when we get to that Six of Swords moment in a reading, we're thinking about what can we take with us, what are we leaving behind, what thoughts are crowding our judgment as we contemplate our next move, right? And I like this, thinking about the things that can be carried by ship along on our journey. What can we take that's not going to weigh us down? I like that. The snake lurks in the grass, pressed, not oppressed. Loss, grief, and despair. Dead end, betrayal, tragedy, defeat of spirit. Let's read this Page of Swords, because I am always interested to see what the Page of Swords says. So I'll be reading it anyway later. Might as well read it now. It says, regarding communications, the Page of Swords brings a cautionary reminder, usually by letter or email, where its receiver will discern an important truth or fact about a situation, relationship, or upcoming event, and this communication will bring clarity to any worry, misconception, or concern. The Renaissance emblem and the motto read, learn justice by admonition. Due to the Page of Swords transmission or disclosure, you will be able to revise or recalibrate the situation you are concerned about, or rebuke or reprimand a potential wrongdoer or offender. The Page of Swords sometimes indicates a person whose constant vigilance and examination of facts, who seeks to understand things, a naturally curious spy who is savvy at prying into the secrets and affairs of the world, and who is able to gather intel and be a herald of news, documents, and messages, good or ill. Beware of being sneaky or conniving or telling tall tales and exaggerating in order to make yourself appear more knowledgeable or intelligent. Sometimes people can see right through that, so be mindful of a little humbleness. Novice energy is nothing to be ashamed of. The Page of Swords persona is keen to be respected and will keep legit and noble at all costs. Now is the time to stand up for your truth and express it by all means. Learn diplomacy in your given situation, and you will be excellent and bridging communications for others and clearing the way of difficulties, which makes you a gallant ally in business or social relations. If you feel unprepared to lead others or fight for the rights of the side you are on, take small steps to learn leadership skills and study someone like an elder or a veteran in your field to learn their wisdom. All right, there's more here, but I'm just going to stop there. This is a good write-up. It's very, very astute, and I think that I would suggest this for a beginner to have alongside whatever deck they're working with, because it's going to give you some of those interpretations for cards that sometimes basic guidebooks that just give you those like broad overviews don't zero in on. And each card has so many layers and so many things, but if you notice, a lot of the guidebooks will have the same interpretations. And this one, it has some more of those esoteric interpretations that you don't necessarily always find in those beginner decks. I think this will be a really great deck for a beginner to have to learn with right off the bat, to start integrating some of these meanings into their work in the beginning. It's going to just make it easier for them. So this would be a great deck for a beginner. Also excellent for anybody who just wants to go a little deeper. Like it said, the symbols on here, as the symbols that they decide to focus on, as well as the quotes or these mottos that they put on there, give you a little bit more to kind of sink your teeth into when it comes to the story of the tarot. But then there's also space to kind of make your own decisions here as well, as to which way you want to go with that. It feels like a fortune telling deck, and so I like that about it. It's like a tarot deck for fortune tellers, So if you're a fortune teller, or if you do those fortune teller style readings, this might be one that would be fun to work with for sure. So that is the last one. So we did all of those. There are the backs. The oracle cards, because I didn't say, were sovereignty, regeneration, libations, caduceus, and ancestors. Those were the oracles. Okay, so let's compare them. This is a normal tarot size card, same size, and this is the Sun Steeped Oracle card. So it's a general oracle, and they are a little bit smaller. This is another wonderful deck from Weiser. If you haven't seen my walkthrough on that, definitely check it out. So it's a great deck. I've been using it a lot since I got it. They're a little thick. I don't know if you can tell. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to get my hands around these to riffle them, but I'm going to try. I'm certainly going to try. Yeah, I can do it. You know why? Because they're so bendy. Because they're so bendy, I can pull them back to the size of my hand and make it work for me. If they were stiffer and not as bendy, I wouldn't be able to riffle these. Yeah, good. Overhand, nice. So this is like they're linen with a plasticky coating, and they're very, very, very bendy. So you can see that they're going to be, if you're a riffle shuffler, these are going to be great. They could get a little sharp on the edge for you because of the metallic edging. But other than that, very, very nice. Very, very nice cardstock. If you are an overhand shuffler, these are going to be perfect because they're linen. It's a plastic linen too, so they're nice and slidey. Wonderful. Let's fan it. Yeah, it's like the perfect fan. All right. So, let's read for the tower. See what we get. So here, can you see it? Yeah, there you go. So there's the write-up for the tower if you'd like to read it for yourself. So this says, the tower. The situation is too close, growing too hot. This bodes an opportune time to break away, or otherwise the foundation of what you've built or joined in with will crack and shatter, falling out from under you, landing in shards, potentially beyond repair. This can be metaphorical. Therefore, try not to worry that doom and gloom are headed your way. In most cases, the shattering of old illusions or set in ways is the warning of the Tower card. The Renaissance emblem and the motto read, "Whom it happens onto, if it shall fall," by the example of an earthen pot being now burning on the fire, which, if it should chance to fall, it should do some great harm to standers by. The tower represents a great climax to your personal story, and the telluric explosive energy affects not only you, but others in your life or environment. It is the universe's way of bringing in big changes through disturbance, adversity, a painful confrontation, or a catalytic event in order to clear your blockages and disrupt set belief systems. This may symbolically feel like the vessel of your hopes and dreams is heating up, coming to a boiling point under sweeping flames, threatening to explode the container that holds it all in. If that happens, it will seem like a big setback, a fall from a previous state. Just remember this is a wake up call and will quickly change your point of view once you've gathered up your wits and walk away from the broken pieces. Reconcile yourself with your losses and rebuild on solid ground. Put your past in the past, rise above, pick up what is reusable, and find new inspiration. It is crucial to see and learn from your mistakes. Tend a steady flame, but be careful not to let the pot boil over with the heat of intense experiences. Take care to protect yourself and others from the fallout. Sometimes the tower insinuates great joy and catalytic experiences waiting to be uncorked. Perhaps it is time to confidently take hold of the vessel of your dreams and desires, shake up what has settled or has been stagnant, and let the life force energies explode and flow out of all within, reaching in exciting, creative, and illuminating ways. I like this guidebook. I like the way this creator thinks about the cards in a sort of more allegorical way, and I like reading about them in that way. I really like the way that she's mixing these with what are real life experiences as well. So, and the cards, even though I haven't used them yet, seem really easy to read with. As far as the aesthetics, they're right up my alley. I've got quite a few decks that look like this with this like space. I like a lot of space on my cards. I don't know why. It's just something that I like, especially if I'm doing um I don't know, psychic style, fortune tellery style readings. I like a lot of space. So these work for that and for me. And yeah, I like these. So let's look at some pairings. I think I can think of a few off the top of my head, but I'm not sure if they're out at the moment. But let's see what I got. Let's see what I got out. Let's start with this. This is the pair of Baco Oracle cards. I got these in from Kickstarter, a fortune telling style deck. And yeah, let's give them a shot. Fortune telling with fortune telling. So let's play with these a little bit. And if these don't work, of course we can play with something else as well. I've got a couple of these fortune telling style decks around. All right, so we've got the Two of Pentacles with the World. Okay, I like this Two of Pentacles. You know, I was reading while I was going through this, so I didn't see a lot of the symbols. So this is going to be fun to play with because they're going to pop up for the first time for me. And yeah, I really like this one with the broken coin and they're coming together because the Two of Pentacles to me usually means that we can do both things, right? It's not that you're balancing it and you have the ability to do both. You just have to find the way. And I like the way that this is finding a way to fit them together. That's brilliant. What does it say? Equal conjecture might confirm the certainty. Okay. With careful person, buy yourself more clothes and prosperity will come to you. These are so specific. So it is completed, the world. So it's like, okay, yes, make the decision to do something for yourself today. I think that sometimes we go back and forth. It's like, oh, should I buy, especially during this time of year? It's school shopping season, and it's like, you're buying for the kids, you're buying for the classroom or whatever you're buying for. And maybe it's saying, you also should buy for yourself. You have to balance your money and all of that and your time to do all of that. And you can do all of that. And the more that you know that you can, and the more that you say that you can, the more will come to you, right? That abundance mindset. This is really, this is going to be an interesting little play. So bank, throw away old ideas and adopt new theories. Your bank account will grow. That seems the same with the Knight of Pentacles and the Three of Cups. So we've got valiant and magnificent order of the knights in the delight of the gentle air. So these all have little quotes on them. But what I'm noticing about the tarot cards is they're much more open and these are much more specific. So if I'm bringing myself here and I'm really going to be like, okay, this is what I'm focusing on, then these would be more open ended on leading me towards this, right? If I was going to use these together. All right, so we've got sickness with quick recovery with the Two of Swords. We're ready for both. From the moon, knowledge. Okay. So maybe you did a little research and you found a way to make your illness go away a little bit faster than it was in the past. Maybe you try a little something, try a little natural remedy you found online or something like that. This is cool. This is the image from the front of the box. The High Priestess. Okay. Being a lone woman, I follow the Creator alone. Oh, I like that for the High Priestess. So let's try the Mercury fortune telling cards. I feel like we'll try a couple fortune telling decks and then try a couple regular decks, and then I have a couple of things here. I pulled like 6 or 7 decks, so we'll try them all. All right. So we have the Page of Pentacles, a sign of good luck, given and token. Regeneration, which is one of the oracle cards with gladness. And I picked this one because I also have the Bohemian fortune telling cards, which we could try them. I actually have them in the same bag, so we can try them. But I thought that the art style of this one would go better. So we have the Ace of Swords with the Magician and Widow. King of Cups with the Five of Cups and Message. I run out on every side, full of all kinds of cares. Interesting. This looks like Mercury here in the middle. Actually reminds me of like the Two of Cups with that staff there. This age knoweth the Creator aright, the Sun with the Nine of Pentacles and Vexation. I don't know. I like the way they look. I'm curious to see how they would read. Like, I would need more than one card from this middle deck to really be able to do a reading, I think. Yeah, I don't mind the way they look. Should we try the other one? Let's try the other one just to get a feel. Okay, so let's try Bohemian fortune telling cards. Um, they don't look bad, actually. I thought the other ones would be better, but see, this is why it's important to try them. Because what I think in my head, sometimes I don't remember exactly what things look like. I think I know, and then I see them and I'm like, oh no, that's different than what I remembered. So, enemy, thief with the Nine of Cups and the Knight of Wands. Yeah, I might actually like this one too. Love with the Two of Cups and Death. At one point, I had the two decks mixed together, which was an interesting situation to use those. And I just would pull 3 cards and read them like that. So if you're the type of person that likes to read with a lot of oracle, I feel like this would be a good mix. And I actually like the way these look. So that is the Bohemian fortune telling cards. Okay, so one more fortune telling deck. This is the Travel Pocket Oracle. It's called an Oracle, but it is kind of a fortune telling style deck. So let's just get a couple of them here. So all of the decks I've just been showing are all indie. I have some mass markets coming. I'll make sure I put links for everything down below so that if I can find links, if they're still in print, so that you can find them if you're interested in picking them up. So this one, as you can see, has a similar layout as these tarot cards. They have like a motto with a keyword and then a central image. So this one says, astronomer, when you can't see the moon for the stars, with the Ace of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. And the messages here are security, comfort, and contentment. And the nature is wonderful in her works. So if I'm reading this, what's jumping out at me is that you can't see the moon for the stars with security, comfort, and contentment. You're so comfortable that you cannot see that there's more beyond what you're the comfort that you're sitting in. And that beyond is also natural and wonderful. It's all that beyond is also something wonderful and fiery and exciting and nurturing for your soul, but you're not allowing your soul to be nurtured and in that way, warmed up in that way, and that sort of passion to come out because you're so comfortable where you are. And that's kind of the message that I would get from something like this if I saw those come up together in this moment anyway. I mean, different times I might take different messages. I might go with the word here and, maybe one thing from there, or I might take the pictures. So that's the thing that I like about having decks like this is that you can kind of see kind of intuitively what stands out to you because there's so much to take and then leave the rest that doesn't stand out. So in this reading, I'm looking like, okay, so I have power and introspection with the Emperor and the Hermit. And then this card here, it says power has no place where there is skill. So maybe I'm feeling a little bit confused about the contradiction there. And then I can use these messages here to be additional to help me through it. So instead of pulling more cards, I just have more things that are already laying here on the table for me. So this one says having a watchful eye for the execution of injustice. Okay, so this is like a mix between the Emperor and justice, and then and truth and things, and then we have Lord, teach me thy paths. So somebody might be really, really going within to work on themselves spiritually and just, do some internal work, and it's working well for them, but they're not then coming out and being a part of the world. They're spending too much time inside. And I think that part of breaking free after you've done all that internal work does take a little bit of bravado, right? It takes a little bit of that because you're so comfortable inside and it's working for you, but it's not sustainable. You have to do that work and then trust that you've done it and then bring yourself outside of it, and that what you've done, the work that you've done, will carry you through. That's where you build the skill. So I think maybe that's the type of message I might take from this. I'm not sure. So you have man and devil with the 8 of Swords and King of Swords. Okay, do the work of the devil and he'll take you with him. Okay, so this is like you're feeling very bogged down by a lot of things that are just not good for you. There's probably, you know, situation on top of situation on top of bad habit on top of all of these things that are just weighing your life down at this point, and perhaps a little bit of um plan. And not only that, but taking the authority, taking the truth and authority on what is really going on with your life, really taking stock of the things that are not good and working to eliminate those things, even if it means something like it says here, deliberate execution of the pen and sword, wise counsel and authority. It might mean getting a therapist. It might mean, something as serious as that. So I like this. I feel like this could be really great for really, really good, nitpicky, kind of serious readings. And I feel like this could be a really good deck for people who work hotlines. I don't read professionally, but I feel like it gives a lot. There's a lot here for those, like I said, fortune style readings. So that is the Travel Pocket Oracle. Okay, let's try the Familiar Field Oracle. I saw that there were a lot of animal symbols on here, so I thought, let's try an animal deck. And this animal deck has water, sea, and land animals. Oh, goodness. Do I have them upside down? We have lots of keywords as well. So we have fertility, nurture, abundance with libations. So the abundance of libations. So there's no drought, right? There's no drought. It's an abundance of libations with the King of Pentacles. Yeah, so this is very abundant energy right here. I really like this Five of Cups. So we've got the Five of Cups with knowledge, laughter, bonding with the Queen of Pentacles, moving from this feeling of grief by bonding yourself with others. Monkeys live together, right? They work together. They help each other to do a lot of things. So perhaps bringing yourself out of the grief, the thing that you can do is find someone that you feel close to, bring yourself to speak about the things that you're grieving, bring yourself into those, memories that make you laugh, remembering things that kind of lift your spirits a little bit in order so that you can feel more nurtured and comforting. And that continuous, trying to continuously do that again and again and again could help bring you out of this grief, whatever it is that you lost. So the Six of Pentacles with the Six of Wands, wisdom, learning, and transition. Okay. So these look great together for sure. Oh, I didn't see this one. Mystery, healing, and rebirth. The snake. Mystery, healing, and rebirth with justice and the Nine of Pentacles. And let's just look at one more. An alligator. And here we have aggression and waiting and awareness with the Eight of Pentacles and the Fool. Aggression with the Eight of Pentacles and the Fool. So it's almost like somebody pushed you over the edge here, as opposed to you jumped, right? There's something that you've been working hard, and someone just pushed you to leave your workshop and jump or something like that. So, or chased you. What oppresses the good with the voice, progress, cleaning, Ten of Wands. Okay, someone's voice is being shut down to the point where they don't even want to speak anymore at this point. They can't even see a way to even be able to express themselves anymore because they spent so much time being shut down again and again and again. I feel like I'm seeing all of these spikes here and all of these vines wrapping. It feels like a repetitive shutdown, a repetitive oppression. So, yeah. So it's about jumping out of that, breaking out of that. So that is the familiar field oracle. I love camels. Let's try Pear Tree Court. This is by Danny Mystic here on YouTube. Wonderful channel, great decks she has. This is the only one that I have of hers, but she has a couple. I really love this deck. I didn't use it a lot when I first got it, but I recently pulled it out to go with another deck that I got off. I had a deck that came to me from Kickstarter last year, a cat tarot, and it just made me think of this deck. I've been using it ever since. Like, I can't put it away now. It just reads so well. It's really great for clarifying anything. So if we were to pull a Six of Cups and the Two of Pentacles, and we're thinking about blending, balancing the past with the present, balancing the time that has passed that you've already given with time that you still have yet to give, and what you're going to be doing with that, there's a discontent in that balance. So somebody is not getting enough. One of them is not getting enough. Either you're not spending enough time thinking about things that have gone right, or you're spending too much time thinking about what is yet to come and not spending enough time maybe in the present is what I'm thinking here. And that's where the discontent is stemming from. Pursuit with sovereignty. So we would have two oracles here. Oh, three. All three of these are oracles. Sovereignty, caduceus, and pursuit. The stars incline us, they do not bind us. Okay. And wisdom is the guardian of all things. So you have the knowledge and the inclination and the power, the divine power to do anything that you want. You just need to pursue it. Right? Sounds like a graduation speech. The Two of Cups with the King of Swords and Gossip. Ooh, the King of Swords and Gossip. And one more. These go great together as well. Page of Swords with the World and Nurture. So we tried Familiar Field Oracle, and that's a more modern style artwork, and it went well. So I wanted to try it with the Modern Nirvana Oracle and see how this one goes. Another more modern style. It's not as modern as Familiar Field, but definitely more modern. It's kind of 90s, this one. So we have, we already saw these two. Four of Pentacles. Look at this dragon with the Knight of Pentacles and Resolution. Okay. Resistance with the Seven of Swords and the Knight of Cups. Two of Wands and the Hierophant with the Philosopher's Stone. So the Philosopher's Stone is like tap into your spiritual vibration, like your upper vibrations, with the Hierophant and the Two of Wands. Rebirth with the Star and the Ace of Wands. Look at these. Yeah, like yeah, this is cool. I mean, aesthetically, it's not as nice as some of the others, but they seem to want to work together. So I want to use them together. Here we have the High Priestess with Modern and the Empress, and then one. So it's like the Empress is the modern version of that Priestess, and then Mask with the Nine of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles. So that is the Modern Nirvana. Last but not least, let's try it with Lady Sterling's Wicked Garden Oracle. This is a new one, a new release. I can already see that this deck is going to go with a lot of things, but um, I won't keep you here too much longer. I'm just curious to see how this one will match up because I've been obsessed with it lately. So we have White Water Lily with Death and the Eight of Wands. Faunus with Regeneration and the Chariot. Spoonwood with the Page of Cups and the Ace of Cups. And Spoonwood, I think this one is about like toxic traits. I can't remember. We have Lady Sterling herself with the Three of Wands and the Three of Cups. And let's just look at one more. They look great together. There is a sort of antique feel to this deck anyway. So we've got the Hanged Man with the Five of Swords and Lord Sterling. I don't think that this is set in like, this one is set in like the 1800s, I believe. I can't remember, but so it was like after these, but I like the way they look together for sure. So that is the Lady Sterling's Garden, Wicked Garden. And that's the last one I'm going to show here today. So those are my first impressions of this new mass market edition of Tarot Emblamata. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more from me, you can subscribe. I release videos every few days regarding tarot and oracle. Love to have you here with me. Lots of videos coming, so make sure you hit the bell and check the description box below for the links. And until I see you guys next time, stay safe and be blessed. Bye-bye.